Today we are going to talk about international convergence of accounting standards, IFRS compared to US GAAP. Okay, at first it's the outline of our presentation. Okay, now in the beginning, I will make a brief introduction of IFRS and US GAAP. With the development of multinational companies and economic globalization, the harmonization of accounting standards in different economic is necessary. International Finance Report Standards, or IFRS, and US General Accepted Accounting Principles, or USGAAP, are two accounting standards that most widely accepted in the world. Over then, IFRS is adopted by more than 100 countries in varying degrees, while USGAAP is accounting standards used in US. Those two accounting standards have many rules in difference, but then are developed to remove the difference to achieve the harmonization of international accounting standards. USGAAP is the first accounting standard established by a government in 1937. It has a comprehensive rules system and a transparent rules-making procedure. USGAP places and guiding rules in the form of accounting standards in many countries, including IFRS. IFRS is issued by International Accounting Standard Board, or IASB, to provide account standard for transnational trade, so that those multinational companies can follow accounting rules in different capital markets. It began as an attempt to harmonize accounting across UN countries. Then it was widely adopted in the world, excluding in US. US, Japan, and China are the main capital markets that use their own accounting standards. However, Japan and China are developing their standards towards IFRS, while US GAAP still has difference with IFRS.
Next, I will talk about the difference between IFRS and US GAAP. US GAAP is considered a more rules-based system of accounting. Rules-based means US GAAP has a detailed and complex rule system. Well, it also means this standard tell people how to do, but not why. Rules-based accounting sets those standards in the form of detailed rules. It is therefore very specific but also very complicated because many rules are needed to cover the numerous situations accountants face when preparing financial statements. On the other hand, IFRS is more principle-based. Principle-based accounting avoids the rules in favor of general guidelines, instead of having to comply with hard and fast dictates. The accountant uses general principle to guide her professional judgment. The difference is caused by historical factors. IFRS is firstly developed in European countries. It is more practical for them to follow principles than specific rules. Also, they depended more on credit financing than equity financing at that time. That's why IFRS are established more principled and flexible. US GAAP, on the other hand, are made as common, detailed, and specific financial reporting standards to provide comparable finance information for their domestic capital markets. Next time we'll talk about the trend of globalization on accounting standard. However, with the development of multinational companies and the free flow of capital, difference between these accounting standards bring barrier for transnational investment. There is a trend of international convergence of accounting standards to eliminate the difference between them. This is an example. The no-work agreement defines the obligation of IFRS and GAAP and helps to take the first step on accounting standards convergence. But this agreement didn't help to remove the main difference between them. In 2006, after this agreement, the FASB and the IASB made a roadmap to list both short-term convergence projects and long-term projects. The short-term projects aimed at removing the difference between IFRS and USGAP, while the long-term projects aimed at developing compatible high-quality accounting standard together.
In this part, I will introduce the progress of convergence. In the last decade, IASB and FASB are working together on accounting standard convergence. Eventually, the board focused primarily on 4 specific joint projects. One is revenues recognition, insurance, financial instrument, and leases. The revenue recognition project has been the greatest success to date. A major global standard issued under USGAP in Accounting Standard Update number 2014 and 09. Revenue from contract with customers take effect for reporting period beginning after December 15, 2016. For public company, while private company may also option to implement the new rule at the time. They have an extra year before they are required to comply. The new guidance is intended to standardize and simplify the revenue recognition process for customer contracts across different industry and geography locations. On the other hand, the project on insurance and financial assets have failed to produce joint guidance, and the board have resigned themselves to producing different standards. FASB planned to release 2 major amendments on this topic by earlier 2015. FASB spokesperson explained the breakdown in the insurance and the financial assets joined the project, because they are thought that convergence do not represent an improvement to USGAP, but a restored stress, and it will harm the investors. For example, if FASB and adopt the IASB's approach to financial asset impairment, US banks would probably have seen reduced loan loss reserve. Next one is this one is in conclusion. With the conversion effect seems to have reached an impasse, it appears the no-vote agreement may have been over ambitious, but the trend of one fit all accounting standard is clearly clear. I believe that in the long-term vision, high-quality globally accepted accounting standard will be issued and widely adopted. There are our reference. Thank you.